Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again. And this is going to be my comparison review, or let's say the battle showdown between the Honor Magic 2 and the Huawei Mate 20X. It's Honor versus Huawei. Slider versus big phone. Which phone is gonna win right here? Now, obviously, guys, you just saw I did my 2-week comparison of the Mate 20X here, but I think it is very interesting to compare to see how this fares against the slider phone. And like, these are two options that you guys may be considering at the price points that are a bit more similar than, let's say, the Mi Mix 3 or some of the other kind of lower level options. So this video is going to kind of give you hopefully some more insights on which phone might be the better choice for you, or I guess which kind of series might be the better one, the Mate 20 series or kind of the Honor Magic series right here. So let's get started. Design. Sleek, beautiful, elegant design. Different design language though on both phones. This reminds me more of the P20 Pro. The Mate 20 series has a completely new look. This ridged backing is just gorgeous. The Mate 20X. An absolute beast of a phone, brilliant design, but it may be a little big for some users. The Honor Magic 2, I think, is the sweet spot. Perfect in the hand, just great feeling. Tiny bezels on both phones at the bottom. Similar sized bezels at the top, but no notch on the Honor Magic 2. And that's made possible with the slider. One of the best slider phones that I've tested, better than the Mi Mix 3. I know you guys don't want to hear it, but it is better than the Mi Mix 3. Better implementation of slider, but because of the slider mechanism, does add a host of compromises. Mainly battery life with a smaller 3,400 milliampere battery, and also the other factor, which is no water resistance on this phone, and the potential to get dust and dirt inside the phone. I haven't ran into these issues overall, and I think in terms of design, both of these phones represent some of the best design phones on the market right now. But if I had to pick a design winner right here, I'm still sticking with the Mate 20X. Now, why am I sticking with the Mate 20X? I appreciate this a lot. This ridged backing and the attention to detail on this phone with the red button, glossy edges, dual speakers, and 3.5mm headphone jack means that this phone is just overall, I think, a better package design-wise. But that's not to take away from the Honor Magic 2, which is an absolute gorgeous phone. But I feel that this glass backing is a little bit previous generation in terms of Huawei's design language. Display. 6.39-inch display on the Honor Magic 2. 7.2 inches on the Mate 20X. It's an absolute beast. Because there's no notch on this phone, it does seem like it has the better screen to body ratio, but because of the size of the Huawei Mate 20X, this is rocking, as per GSM, remember I use GSM for my screen to body ratios, an 87.6 screen to body ratio, and some may say even higher if you look at Huawei's claims. The little teardrop notch here does not eat into the display enough, and this phone is just so much bigger that you have a better just overall display size to the versus body size on this phone. But resolution, it's a different story. 346 ppi, 403 ppi. That means this phone is going to be more dense, and with the AMOLED display and the Pentile matrix, you will notice the difference. Look at the settings icon on the Mate 20X, now compared to the settings icon on the Honor Magic 2. Definitely sharper. Both phones have a lot of great features through the display. Mate 20X has DCI-P3, HDR10 support on the Mate 20X, whereas the Honor Magic 2 has only DCI-P3 support. Video quality on the Mate 20X and the Honor Magic 2. Just brilliant. Absolutely amazing. But for all you notch haters, this may be a stain on this otherwise perfect viewing experience. Now, I kind of enjoy the viewing experience on the Mate 20X better, just because it's a bigger screen to body ratio and it's a bigger screen in general. But if you really need to have the perfect, unadulterated, notchless viewing experience on a phone, well, you have your pick right here. The Honor Magic 2 will offer the better YouTube viewing experience. Verdict on the display, my personal self would probably pick the Mate 20X still, but I know you guys are a bunch of notch haters and you don't like the notch and you make fun of the Pixel 3 XL notch all the time. Poor Pixel 3 XL, he's crying. But I still think the Mate 20X has a better screen overall for viewing. Now, what's the other side of the argument? This is the most uncompromised viewing quality, especially for content viewing. This is the most uncompromised display on the market other than the Mi Mix 3. I will tip the scales, even though I personally would choose this one, to the winner, the Honor Magic 2. For uncompromised viewing experiences and just a great quality panel, which fits in your hand, I give it to the Honor Magic 2. Performance, I don't even have to talk about performance on these phones that much, because it's a tie, guys. It's an absolute tie. 980, 980. The Kirin 980 running the show on both of these phones, with the only slight difference being RAM. The Honor Magic 2 is running rocking 8 gigabytes of RAM, whereas the Mate 20X is the 6 gigabyte version. Now, call it what you will. If you think that's going to be a deal breaker, not having the 8 gig version, I honestly could care less. I think 6 GB of RAM is more than enough to use on a phone, and this phone just flies. And so does this phone. In fact, both phones fly. Now let's see how they do in gaming and GPU performance using Asphalt 9. Let's start with the Mate 20X. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Dual firing speakers. Come and get it, bro. Come at me, bro. What an awesome gaming experience on this phone. Woo! Bring it on. I'm such a dork. Oh, that's right. First place, baby. Let's do it. Performance, incredible. Audio quality, incredible. Look how loud it gets. This phone killed the performance, GPU performance, and gaming category right here. Now we got the Honor Magic 2. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Great bottom firing speaker, but goes completely silent if you muffle it. Come at me, bro. Performance is stellar. No complaints about performance on this phone. Woo! Oh yeah. And that is it. Great performance on the phone, only hampered by the slightly lower audio quality. Uncompromised viewing experience, just great. So which phone wins in the performance category? I gotta say, both phones were tied until I did this gaming GPU test right here. And because of that, if I had to pick one winner, I'm gonna give the edge to the Mate 20X. Notch included, guys. As uncompromised a gaming experience as this is on the Honor Magic 2, the fact that this screen is so big in terms of gaming means that you will just have more canvas to enjoy that Kirin 980 and all its GPU goodness on this phone. So I would say for regular performance, it's still a tie, but for gaming performance, the Mate 20X wins. And now a quick audio test just to humor the poor Honor Magic 2, because I think you already know which one's going to win. Honor Magic 2, 75%. Mate 20X, 75%. Honor Magic 2, 100%. %100% on the Mate 20X. 100% on the Honor Magic 2. Verdict, exactly what I thought from the start. Mate 20X with its dual speakers and just larger phone to kind of lay out the sound just crushes. Really, not just this phone, but really any phone that I've tested. The Mate 20X has the best speakers on any phone that I've heard in a while, and that's without Dolby Atmos, guys. Apparently, this doesn't have Dolby Atmos. Well, guess what? I don't think it even needs Dolby Atmos, because the speakers on this phone are loud, they're crispy, they're great. No complaints. The winner of the audio test, Mate 20X. And finally, initial camera review. Performance on both of these phones has been stellar. You see some of the shots I've taken on the Honor Magic 2. Detail is incredible in daylight. Here we are at the ladies market in Hong Kong, and that AI camera just does wonders. And it also does wonders in low light. The Mate 20X, as you saw in that previous video, just crushed it in low light. You really can't go wrong with the Honor Magic 2's camera or the Mate 20X camera with the triple array camera setup at the back. But stay tuned for my full camera comparison of these phones coming soon. And a final word on battery life. I think it's an unfair comparison between these two phones. You have the Honor Magic 2 with a 3,400 or 500, if I'm not mistaken, milliampere battery versus a 5,000 milliampere battery. To all you guys who want to see a battery drain test between these two, I just spent my entire last Sunday doing a battery drain test. And go and check out and see how the Mate 20X did. I don't think any phone is going to top it for a long time. And so I think while this phone is definitely lasting pretty well into the 8 or 9 hour range, it will not touch the Mate 20X, which I think would have lasted even longer had I not had to actually go to sleep eventually. But I think overall for battery, it's a clear win for the Mate 20X. Final verdict. Which phone wins this Honor versus Huawei showdown? The Honor Magic 2 is the best slider phone that there is. It beats the Mi Mix 3. It's got very nice design. The display is great. Audio quality could be a little better, but it's rocking that Kirin 980 in terms of performance, which means it is going to perform just as well as the Mate 20X. Camera, phenomenal, very similar sensors as on the Mate 20X. The Mate 20X, the best big phone you will ever own. Amazing display, slightly pixelated, but not enough to be a deal breaker at all. Great colors, HDR10, DCI-P3 support. Design is really well done. Love the ridged back, love the edges, and the water droplet, the droplet notch is a non-issue for me completely. Performance, Kirin 980, spectacular performance, and overall, the audio quality on this phone just blasts any other phone out of the water. And the camera is just stellar. It's hard to pick between these two phones. It may be hard for you guys, but for me, there's one phone that I just clearly just like better than the other one. And that's the Mate 20X. Now, why is that the case, guys? You may have noticed my issues and qualms with slider phones. And while the slider phone feature is a really cool one and a really cool implementation, I feel it just brings up way too many compromises to remove the notch. Is that tiny amount of space right there enough for you to have to deal with this and this? This is a Frankie Tech declaration. I'm not the biggest fan of slider phones, and that includes the Honor Magic 2. And I don't think it's a trend that's going to last very long. I just don't think that the compromises that you make for the slider are enough to lose the notch. I just don't think. And I think that you make too many compromises using a slider phone just to lose the notch. Now, if you absolutely hate the notch, the Honor Magic 2 is your choice. But for everyone else who doesn't mind a slight dip in their phone, Mate 20X is probably the best Huawei Honor any phone that you can get at this point. And that's the truth. So that's it for this video, guys. Let me know, which phone do you think is better right here? Are you a fan of the slider phones and what Huawei and Honor have been able to do with this implementation? Or do you really not mind that slight notch at the top and would rather have a full one-piece phone without that compromise? Let me know in the comments section, guys, what you think. If you like this video, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, definitely subscribe to the channel, guys. Hit the bell icon for future updates on the channel. It's been a pleasure making these videos for you guys, and appreciate all the support, guys, as I reach my next milestone very soon. That's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. And this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Y'all have a good one.